Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I am filming my gotathing for season wrap up. So I'm going to talk about the different books I read for gotathing for season the last 3 months. It's 4 books for every month, so it is 12 books altogether, and hopefully I will be able to do this a tiny bit quickly because no one likes wrap ups that last for a billion years. So I will try to be detailed, but not too detailed. So we start off with March, of course, since that is the first spring month. The challenge was called Melted Snow. Choose a book set in Scandinavia or by a Scandinavian author. For this I read Odins Child or Odins Child. I had a Norwegian edition because it is Scandinavian author, a Norwegian author by CZECH. I actually read the English edition of this and I have a full video where I talk more about the series as well, so I will leave that link down below. But it was finally translated into English and it came out in March, so that's why I read it in that month. I actually had an arc of it on Manga, like the English one, so I read it in English, but this is the Norwegian edition. I still haven't bought the English edition, even though I do want it. But yeah, this one follows 15-year-old Hirka, who's never had a tail, and all the creatures here have tails, and she thought that she lost it as a child from wolves, but then she actually just never had one, so she's like the rotten or the rot, and people are like very believing in like this constitution of the raven, kind of like religion-ish, and it's just a lot of things about like exophobia, as that was called, and just like the fear of the unknown, etc. And then she also has this childhood best friend that comes back, and yeah, it's great. Overall, a really good series based on kind of Northern mythology, one of my favorites. The second book in the series is actually my favorite. I do recommend this series a lot, and I recommend checking out this video where I talk more about it. I give this 4 stars, but like the next book in the series is like 5 stars for me, and it's one of my favorites of all time. So again, I recommend just checking out this series a lot. You can get it in English now, so it is more available in general, and I'm very happy about it. The next challenge was called Pastel. Choose a book written by a black author with a pastel color or and spine. So for that I read Shiny Broken Pieces by Danielle Creighton and Sona Charlotte Potra, and this one is the sequel to Tiny Pretty Things, which also, yes, is the Netflix show, and then it is a duology and it follows these 3 girls. It goes to a ballet school and they all do crazy shit to each other. It is loads of fun. It's like more sophisticated Pretty Little Liars, I would say. And here the story wraps up and it's just very good. I think the TV show was a bit not fun at all for me, but like I think the books are solid. It's just very intriguing, super fun to read about like them being shitty people, and it was just a really great ride. I really liked how the story wrapped up. I overall just really enjoyed the series, and I saw yesterday actually that the 2 authors here are writing a new, I don't know if it's a series, but a new book together, and it also seems like to be in the vibe of the same vibe, and I'm just like, okay, I will pick it up. So that was very fun that I just read this, and then they kind of released a new one just right after. I'm excited. It's gonna happen. The next challenge was called Songbirds, and it was to choose a book with Asian representation about or with families, and I chose to read Damned by Renee Adiyai. Stepped on something. And this one is the, why is it full of shit? This one is the sequel to The Beautiful, and it's the second book in this duology that I thought was a duology, but it is not. It is with vampires. It's set in New Orleans in like 1872, I think. It doesn't say year here in this one, but I think it's 1872 or something. And it's vampires, and then here we follow the events. I'm still stepping on something. Here we follow the events after, you know, the first book, which follows Celine, who like escaped to New Orleans from Paris. And it's just a lot about family and stuff, because she meets Bastien and he has like a whole family thing, and then like it's actually a lot of focus on family here too because of certain things that are revealed. So I think that the choice I did for this challenge actually fit more perfectly than I thought it would, and I'm very happy about it, and I really enjoyed the series. It's kind of weird because it's like a part of me like don't like it. I don't know how to describe it, but a part of me don't like it because I think it's written very like vague, I guess. It's like a lot of all over the place, but at the same time it's not. But it's not at all going where I thought it was gonna go. But I am enjoying it, and I give it 4 out of 5 stars. But I will recommend it, but I also can see why you would not like it. It's very like atmospheric. I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, enjoying it a lot and excited for the last 3rd and final book. And the last challenge for March was called Newlywed, and it was to choose a rom-com book by a black author, and for that I chose Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. This is the first book in the Brown Sisters trilogy, and it follows the first of the 3 sisters. It's basically about Chloe, who feels like she is not living her life, I guess. She is chronically ill and is struggling to, I guess, feel like she should have done like stuff that she haven't done, but then she meets this dude called Red, and it's very cute. Like, it's a super cute book. I knew I was going to enjoy it. I thought that, I guess the conflict all the way in the end came a bit out of nowhere, but other than that I really enjoyed it, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I'm very excited to pick up the rest of this series because I know everyone is raving about it and I'm really enjoying them, and I enjoyed it a lot. So what more to say? This is going marvelously. Am I even like reviewing properly though? I feel like I enjoyed all of these, and it's like in the 4-star area it's like hard to like find like small picky things I didn't like, so it's hard to like, I guess, like go on a full thing. I don't know how to describe it, but I hope it's fine. We are now in April, and first chance for April were called CZECH, and it was to choose a book with a yellow cover or spine, and I was in between 2 books for this one, but if you watch my April wrap up or TBR, which is ages ago, so I don't even know if you remember, I ended up choosing Jackpot by Nick Stone, and I have enjoyed all of Nick Stone's books that I read. What did I say there? Nick Stone's? I'm about to say Nick Stone, whatever. And this one follows Rico, who is 17-year-old. She is very, very poor. She's looking after her younger brother, and her mother works like a lot to trying to keep them afloat, and she works at her local gas station to help her mom pay the bills. And then she of course sells lottery tickets there, and then like they win. One lottery ticket that she sells where she works wins this huge pot, and like it's split between 2 because there was 2 winners. The ticket is still unclaimed where she works. She wants to find the person who bought the ticket because there were so many customers that day. She goes on to this, I guess, investigation trying to find the ticket winner, because she hopes that if she tells that person that, oh, you've probably forgotten the ticket, that person will like reward her with a little bit of money, because she's really poor and she is desperate for money, and I don't blame her for doing this. And then she goes on to this whole thing trying to find, you know, the lottery ticket winner with this dude called San, but yeah, it is a look upon, well, poverty, and like it was heartbreaking. I don't even know, it was horrible, like, but it was still also like eye-opening, of course. Not that like I didn't know that poverty existed, but it was just written really well. Just like the journey, you're so curious to see how all this with the lottery ticket will play out, and I literally screamed. I was just like, what? It was so good, and I enjoyed it so much. Like, I enjoyed this so much more than I thought I would. And like, I am kind of like, a part of me also wants to read the lottery, right? Like, I guess who doesn't? And I guess like the Discord and discussions about lottery here, I just really like thought it was really interesting, especially as a person who was like, wants to read the lottery a lot just because I'm lazy and don't want to do anything. And I just thought it was very interesting overall, the theme of the lottery, just money in general, and of course just with fun characters. I just enjoyed it a lot. Okay, 4 out of 5 stars. Give everything 4 out of 5 stars apparently. It was really good, so I really recommend this one. Okay, like I recommend all of these, but I really recommend this one. The next challenge for April was called Eggs, and it was to choose a high fantasy books on your TBR. And if you have been watching me for a little while, you know that my main goal is to read a lot of other fantasy books that I had on my shelf for a long time in 2021, and this was perfect for that because it fits in really well. So just one on my list on like all the books I was wanting to read this year, and I picked out one of them, and that ended up being Malice by John Gwynne, and this one is the first book by his first one in the Faithful and the Fallen series. And I don't even know like what to tell you what this is about because one, I apparently can't remember, and second, it's just like, it was a lot. Okay, there's many point of views, but I did enjoy it, but I don't think I loved it as much as I thought I would. It follows young Corban who like wants to become a warrior, and like war breaks out, and there's like many different kingdoms, like this darkness that's been there. I don't think it's actually called a darkness, but like I guess these creatures have been fighting for a long time are coming back. There's lots of things going on. I cannot describe it. I think if I read a sequel, I would be like, oh, this is what this all was. But right now, I cannot describe the book because I got a really huge brain fart. But yeah, I think I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fantasy parts. I just overall like didn't love it because I thought it was going to be like amazing because everyone said it was, but I'm very intrigued to see where the sequel will go. I'm intrigued about the characters. I do think the world was interesting. Like, I did like it, but I didn't love it. I think I gave it 3 stars, but overall an enjoyable book, and I'm glad I read it on my Kindle because the font is so tiny. But yeah, I haven't actually picked up the sequels yet, and it is like on my list for this year that I'm gonna read them, but I haven't actually, I don't even own them, so good luck to me. The next challenge is called Synth, but I don't remember how it actually is pronounced. It is a flower though, I think. Is it a flower? I don't even know. And it's to choose a book that would get a Netflix adaptation, and I chose to like read the Grishaverse because in April Rule of Wolves came out by Dee Bardugo, which is the final book in the King of Scars duology, which is the sequel to Six of Crows and Shadow and Bone. I would not read this before I read the 2 other ones because it would ruin a lot, I think. And I loved Grishaverse. I'm itching on my face for a long time. I know the books immensely. I watched the show and I loved it. But like, I guess I never gave it 5 stars. I just didn't get a 5-star feel. But here everything just came together. I really felt like the really shown here, and I gave this like 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely adored it. Can't talk that much about the plot here at least, but like it was so good. It's my fave in the whole universe right now. Looking at this make me grin like an idiot, and I kind of, after you know watching the show, I really want to reread the books again, but I am gonna hold back a bit. But like, I am so excited to get to this one when I'm gonna reread. It just all came together, just like the characters, the storylines that were like how we are like now in Ravka and stuff. Just immensely happy looking at this. So excited for like more books to come in the Grishaverse. And yeah, just 5 out of 5 stars. And then the last challenge for April was called Light Breeze, and it was to choose your comfort book. I chose Mistborn or The Fallen Empire by Brandon Sanderson, which is the first book in Mistborn. And I listened to this on the audiobook, and now it's the 3rd time I read it. And I guess it actually makes me super sad because certain thing happens and it hurts, but I guess like I just love this world and this story so much. I also read the sequel Well of Ascension since reading this, and I plan to read The Hero of Ages in July, which is in a while until. Point being that I also have planned like to go through all of the Mistborn books. I read 1, 2, 3 and 4 like before, but like I'm planning to get to the other ones since like Brandon Sanderson is writing the last Wax and Wayne books right now, so it's a great time to like actually read the last ones to the Wax and Wayne series, and then like read the next one at once when it comes out next year somewhere, I assume. What to tell you, Mistborn follows a settings where, well, people get powers from metals. You can eject 1 metal and get 1 power, or you can inject like all metals and get all 8. There's no in between, and if you can do all 8, you're Mistborn. When our main character finds out that she's a Mistborn, they try to throw down the Lord Ruler, who has been ruling the land for 1000 years. So it's like a high story as well, and it's just great. It's like set in a world like what happened to a world where the bad guy won, and then we are 1000 years later trying to change that. It is amazing. 5 out of 5 stars, of course. It's like my favorite book, so it wasn't really a surprise. And now we're in May, which we are in right now, so I basically just finished the last book for this reading challenge, and the first challenge for May was by the Lilies. It was to choose a horror book written by an Asian author, because I read all Asian for May and all the challenges are made Asian, I guess. I'm not the one making challenges, by the way. But yeah, and for that I had chosen Uzumaki by Junji Ito, which is, you know, really known for his horror books and stuff. And I thought that this was like an actual 600-page length novel, but it is actually a 600-page length manga. It was a ride. I read it in 1 day, of course, but it took a little while. Like, I'm not used to reading, I guess, so long mangas, but it was so good, but like my brain is scared. It was so good though. It's about spirals basically, and this town infected by spirals, and every time I see a spiral now I think about this, so it's like affected my everyday life. I'm like, oh my god, there's a spiral, and then I stand there and stare at it. It is amazing. I just loved it so much. Like, it was so good. I don't even remember what I rated it. Did I give it 4 or 5 stars? I do not know, but it was amazing, and I know now why like everyone rave about this author. Like, it's mesmerizing. The ideas is mesmerizing, but it's creepy as hell, and I'm so excited to like pick up his other books now like these. I'm very excited. I don't know when, like, but like it would definitely happen. And yeah, if you like very creepy shit, there you have it. Then the next challenge was Sundoku, and it was to choose a LGBT book written by an Asian author with an Asian main character. For that one I chose When the Tiger Came Down the Mountain by Niwa. This one is like the sequel / companion to Empress of Salt and Fortune, and it is like a short novella, of course, and as you can see, and it just basically is another story where the main character like collects another story. Like, they tell a story, and did that in the first one too. They tell a story outside the story, like in the setting they tell a story, and this is like a love story between like this tiger and, was it a human? I don't know, but it was cute. and adorable and fun, and I'm very excited for more from this author coming out now in June, and I'm very excited, and I just really liked it. Okay, so 4 out of 5 stars, and like I feel like there's not much more to say. Moving on, the next genre was called Antagonist, and we should choose a book with an antagonist POV written by an Asian author. And I chose Jade War by Fonda Lee. And I guess like I call them antagonists because like, you know, it follows gangs and they're like, you know, they're kind of bad and they kill people and stuff. But like, of course they are our heroes, we're supposed to cheer for them, but it's also kind of antagonists. Also we switch POVs and stuff and follow like their enemies a bit. So I counted this one. Lol. And yeah, this is the sequel to Jade War, one of my favorite books of all time, and it's set on Kekon. It's only placed in a world where it's have magical jade, which is like gives people powers, and like of course certain people can sustain it and like have those powers, but like it's turned into drugs and stuff and people get addicted because they get enchanted things in their bodies, but like they can't really like stand it for a long time, like the people on the island. And it's like these 2 clans that controls the island and they are like nibbing at each other all the time. Actually, this did not go at all where I thought it would. I thought it would continue like kind of the conflict from book 1, which like I loved. I also reread that in May for reading this one. This one just took everything international and had a lot of different more conflicts than I thought it would have, and I was shocked of where it went. They just did not go at all where I thought it would go. I love everything. I loved how everything developed. I love all the characters. I am so scared for the 3rd book because like while it's not the same exact like, I don't know how to describe like feeling to it, it was just expanded on it, and I love it when the author does like it expands on like what we already have gotten to know to and where we've been. So 5 out of 5 stars, of course. And if you still haven't picked these books up, I don't know what to tell you. I just love them so much. And the last challenge was called Jade, and it was to read a comic, graphic novel, manga, manhwa, whatever that has or will get an adaptation. And for that one I chose to read a manga outside like my normal circulation of mangas, and I chose to pick up Love Hina, which has been on my shelf probably for like 10 years or something, and it is by Ken Akamatsu, and this one it's like the Igneous version, so it has the 3/4 volumes of the manga in one, and I read this also in one go, the same day as Uzumaki, by the way. It was a day for a lot of reading. It took me much longer than I thought it would again, but it was a fun ride. So this one follows K-Towel, who was like promised to meet this girl when he was a kid at his university, and then like he's trying to get in there but he just fails over and over, and then he like lives at this inn only with girls, and he's like, they call him a pervert, and it's just like a lot of different like things going on with him, and he clearly has a thing with one of the girls there, and like if you're asking yourself if she is like the girl he met when he was a kid, but the age doesn't match up, and there's a ride. Okay, it was just very cute and funny, lots of fan service of course, but it was like hilarious in a way. And you know, this like old-fashioned anime here like this, I hate it, but it is hilarious to look at now, I think. And overall just like I thought it was so fun, and now I kind of need to buy the next one because I had this for ages and I just never read it, but now like now that I read it I should like finish it before I forget everything, you know. But overall just very happy that I finally read it, and I was interested initially because a friend recommended it to me, and then like I had it for like 10 years and now I finally read it. So yay. I don't know what more to say other than it was just this is just literally pure fun. So like I don't really have that much to criticize. It was just very manga and I love it, and I want to watch it maybe if I can stand looking at the hairs later. So yeah, 4 out of 5 stars. Woohoo! So yay, that is all the books I got read for gotathing for season. I can't believe I did it relatively quickly. I am getting a hold of this and I love it. My gotathing for summer reading challenge will be up very soon, like 2 days after this one. So join me if you want to. I do want to make like maybe more videos about it instead of just like ignoring that I have the challenge until like 3 months later, but I don't really know how to do that. I think like a perfect way to do like actually discuss books and what people want to pick and stuff would be like to have a Discord server or something, but like I don't know, then I need to like have a Discord server for my channel. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't even know. I don't know what I'm saying right now. Okay, I put a emoji with a person with lots of hair down below because it fits. You will see me soon in a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.